Good morning, bitches. I mean, lovely people who I care about. It's Timothy. Sorry that I haven't been responding to comments. I haven't read a lot of them. I'm sorry. Your girl's been going through a lot. I've been improving though. Believe it or not, I'm actually doing pretty damn good. I got groceries in my fridge and I've actually been eating and cooking them, not letting them go to waste. I've been staying away from alcohol, mainly because I can't afford it right now. Even though I know you're like, Timothy, alcohol is 99 cents at the corner store. It's fucking exactly. So, I'm still poor, but it's okay. It'd be like that. And my hair is actually very healthy and full. I've just recently, my rubber bands broke, and so I haven't been able to keep it in the huge afro puffs and they snapped and shit. Anyway, I feel miserable and pissed off and angry and upset. I don't really know how to feel about anything anymore, and it's just making me lose my fucking mind. Also, sorry if there's music in the background. People can be very noisy in this neighborhood. One second. Alright, I'm back, sexy beast. Also, you got some in your eye. What is that? One second, stay still. You look nice and slow. A fun thing about me is that even though I don't always take the best care of myself, I usually have pretty damn clear skin. Amen. But anyway, I haven't done a vent video in a while, and sorry if you couldn't hear the last one I made. I was going through it. Let's just say, how's life going? I'll put it simply. I think that the only person to tell me that they loved me last year, being the same person who threatened to fucking murder me, has done irreversible damage to my brain, as well as, like, let's see, honestly, one of my things is that as much as I love that I go through shit and I'm able to make a triumphant return, it doesn't mean the fact that I went to hell and came out of it. You know, like, that's something that happens to me. I go through hell. I come out of it amazingly strong, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. But then a part of me is still traumatized because it's like, damn, remember that time I went to hell? Yes, I've escaped it, but I still went through fucking hell. And then next thing you know, imagine a phoenix that just has like fucked up flashbacks and shit, and it's like, every fucking day, losing their mind. And that's kind of how I've been. I've been a phoenix, just like having all sorts of crazy ass psychotic episodes and fucked up thoughts all the goddamn time. And it pisses me off so much. I actually had a dream last night. So what happened was I had a dream, and in the dream, I was at some sort of cool rave or party that took place in like a cool nightclub with like a stripper pole, a pool table, light up floor, like, and I don't even remember what was on stage. I think half of the bar was like a rave, like woo woo, fist pumping, like 2000 style Jersey Shore. But then someone was on stage and they were also telling jokes, just also to the beat of the music. It was actually pretty funny. So we were listening to, like, everyone in the crowd is just doing this, and occasional woo and cheering for the cool ass comedians on stage as they're dancing. And then I see a stripper pole next to me, and I swing on it once, and I'm like, whoa! In the dream, it's like I look sexy as fuck. I had these crazy ass Daisy Dukes, a little side tie, a little see-through shirt, red bra underneath, like Beyonce in the Crazy in Love video, and I did a little spin on the pole, and I was like, wow, I was good at that. But then for some reason the pole immediately loosens. Like, you know those fucked up videos where strippers have the poles they install in their house and then they are about to fall over on it? So did I fall? No. But the pole then loosened and was almost going to hit a bunch of people in the background. And like a bunch of men were just chilling on couches behind me. I guess watching the show, but also watching me, because why not? Both are entertaining. And I was trying to stop the pole from falling on them but the men didn't give a shit. They were just watching, unmoving, knowing the inherent danger that was going to befall them eventually. And I just was like, okay, I guess I'll try my best to keep it balanced. And if it falls, it falls. Not my fucking issue to worry about. And then, like a few minutes later, as the show is reaching its peak and someone on stage is doing amazing, I go, woo! And I guess like the crowd cheering or the elbow or just gravity, the pole eventually falls. And it falls towards the men. And most of them miss, except then this small little platinum haired baby just bonk, gets knocked in the head with the fucking metal pole. And then he starts screaming and crying, and this little nigga, like, despite how he was sitting near all those men, he races and rushes up to me and starts crying, asking me for comfort. And me, I have a motherly instinct and basic humanity. Of course I'm gonna care for a kid that just got its fucking head bonked by a huge, massive pole. I felt bad for it. It was getting red in the face and everything. And I was like, oh, it's okay, baby. Shh, you're okay. You're okay. And I was hugging it. And it was I don't know. It was like a fat ass baby. Sorry. Like, you ever meet like a baby that's like, someone's like, oh yeah, this baby's only like 11 months old, but it's the size of like a 6-year-old? It was like, do you know about Hasbala, that little meme? That 30-year-old kid, 30-year-old man with dwarfism that looks like a baby? It was kind of like that, but worse. It was a giant. Have you seen that video of the huge baby that's sitting on its dad's chest in a diaper and it's bouncing? The baby was fucking huge. It looked like it should have been like a 4 or 6-year-old, but it was a fucking child. And then in the dream, like, let's just say eventually, I guess, like some tall blonde dude who I can't really see the facial features of, but I can tell that they're a good looking man or whatever. You know, muscular, chiseled jaw, pretty blonde hair, extremely pale skin. Just how I like him. He comes up and he's like, oh shit, sorry about that. You know what? Screw him. Here, we need to calm him down. Can you do me a favor? Can you do this? And then we go over to the pool table carrying this big ass fucking baby, the size of like a big ass, like a damn near the size of an actual like small pig, or big ass pig, like a hog. And I grab the kid's legs, and the dude grabs his kid's arms, and over a pool table we just do a, for he's a jolly good fella, for he's a jolly good fella, for he's a jolly good fella, and nobody can deny, except at the end we didn't throw the fucking kid. I've made that mistake in real life, but don't ask me about it. But but we sit the baby gently down on the table. And I don't know how to explain this next part, but let's just say, well, I guess like, let's just say I looked closely at the baby's face and I was like, what the fuck? This baby looks just like the last two men I fell in love with. Like, it's like it had Luke's top of his face, and then Lucas, the guy before Luke's, bottom half of the face. And it was like, this looks like a grown ass man baby. And then this next part is kind of weird, and I don't. For the sake of documentation, I'll describe what happened, but I'm going to change the term. But let's just say I have been reading a lot of the Epstein files and been very. It's just taking a mental toll on me learning what the elites have been up to, and I think it's starting to drip into my subconscious. But at the same time, I know what this symbolizes. I'll explain the symbolizing of this dream afterwards. Okay. But let's just say, for the context, let's just say the weird little grown ass fat motherfucker in a diaper on the table who had the face of like two exes combined. This nigga started convulsing and then just started, I'm gonna say it, shooting ropes everywhere, like through his diaper. And then I was just like, in the dream, you just see me, just like, ugh! And then the worst thing is, everyone around sees this happen, and all like the bar is in the dream is full of mostly men, like 90% men, if not more. And so they all just laugh, like, "Ha ha, wasn't that funny?" And then, but I'm just disgusted. I'm like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, you know how you would react as if I got pissed on, or it was a terrible. For in the dream, I was like, I don't want to see this shit in my dreams. I don't want to see this shit anywhere. And then in the dream, I'm just like, I'm just done with it. It's like I walk away and I go to this wall and I just start crying and wiping my face and being like, what the fuck was that? Oh God, no, no, no! And these niggas start laughing harder. They think it's the most hysterical shit ever. You can see my face turning red as I'm explaining this, cause I hated it. I hated this part of the fucking dream so much. Also, that's the part when I started realizing I was in a dream and started like also realizing what all of this was symbolizing. And I'll tell you about it more in a second. But let's just say afterwards, the mysterious like tall dude who's like 6'6" and blonde, like I guess the kid's dad or whatever, just comes up behind me and he's like, "Hey, listen, I'm real sorry about what my kid did to you. I feel really bad about that." And it's like some voice in my brain just narrated, Timothy, stop crying. If they're all gonna lust after you and make fun of you anyway, at least get some gifts out of it. So I just turn around and I'm like, I want you to buy me a sweet treat from the bar, like some sort of dessert or something to make up for such a terrible act that happened to me. And then he was like, shit, okay. And mind you, in the dream, I still can't see this guy's expression. Like, his face is just kind of like, not pixelated, but like, just facial blindness for me. Like, I couldn't tell out his features. I couldn't like imagine if someone just had Chad Michael Murray back in the day in the early 2000s and then just had his face slightly blurry as if he had like a fishnet mask on. But I remember as this man was walking away and he kind of grabbed my hand and guided me, he was like, "Sure, you know what? I used to have a sweet tooth back in the day, but not anymore, you see." but I could still do that for you. And this man just like Michael Jackson's Thriller style just looks over his shoulder. And who do I see but his face looks exactly like the last three men I fell in love with. Luke Healy, Lucas Robinson, and what was that one nigga? What was his name? The one from last Christmas that traumatized me really, 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 really bad. Not Michael. Not Michael. Mitchell. Mitchell Anthony Peevler. Fuck that. And so it's like imagine someone with Mitchell Anthony's. So this is what really. So it's like imagine you're talking to a man in a dream and you're like, this is a handsome stranger who's about to be nice to me. He's about to get me a donut or something. And he turns around and it's the face of multiple long lost loves combined. So it's like he had like Mitchell's and he had Mitchell's fucking beautiful eyes and amazing mustache, but he also had Luke's signature smirk and smile and dimples. And in that dream, it was extra trippy because I saw, like, do you ever date someone and you realize what things they have in common? Mitchell and Luke both looked a lot alike, but they also had a very similar smirk and a very sexy mustache, unfortunately. And it just, I saw both of their smiles at the same time, and it was so disgustingly uncanny to me that I gasped physically so hard that I woke up in real life. And then when I woke up, it was specifically 1:11 p.m. on my clock. And I was like, see, this is the shit that makes people schizophrenic. Then again, my grandmother already told me the veil is thin with me, and I know what that means. But shit like that confuses me even more, because it's like, okay, I had a dream that's fucking trippy, and I woke up specifically to an angel number, and it's supposed to mean something, but what could it mean? What does it mean? I don't know. But I guess, let me see if I could decipher some things for those who don't have context. Several times within the last year, I have fallen in love with people. Mitchell Anthony Peevler was a guy who, out of nowhere, came into my life for a week, and it was supposed to be a one-night stand, maybe two-night stand, but instead it was a week-long fling where this man was acting like I was his dream woman, like I was going to be his future wife, that he wanted to live, eat, breathe, and drink everything about me. As if the idea of physically separating and never seeing me again would have physically killed him. If you would have saw the way that man acted, obsessed with me, bringing up marriage, kids, and all that, you would have really been like, wow, maybe this is really going to work between the two. This is what Timothy's always wanted in a partner. So much about that man I liked. He was the right amount of psychotic, but he was also the right amount of grounded. He stood up for me several times during that week. He defended me, protected me. Did he do bad things? Yes, he did. He did bad things to me that stuck with me for most of the fucking year last year. But he also had an effect on me that I had never had in my entire life, which really, really, really fucked me up. Because you don't want to know how it feels to have someone love you that intensely, allegedly, and then vanish as if you're fucking nothing. And then it's like, oh, yay, sexual trauma, abandonment issues, all sorts of pain. That fucked me up. It's a blessing that I'm forgetting his name now. And it's a blessing that I don't think about that day too much anymore, but it still hurts. That still fucked me up. That's the reason I've been abusing coffee and caffeine and alcohol. He was the defining factor to that. After that, oh, Lucas Robinson. Yeah, I liked him a lot. I don't think there's many videos about him. There is a video I meant to upload before about him. Funny enough, he did find my YouTube channel too, and I don't know, he was he was also that type of guy, the same type of guy, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, very, very tall, he's 6'6", very, just like how Mitchell was 6'5". He was very strong, very sexy, very considerate, very generous, extremely hilarious to be around, and we clicked like two puzzle pieces. There was hardly a second of any day that we were not talking to each other. It was like a fun little mutual addiction, and I liked it. I liked him. I knew his flaws. I knew that he wasn't inherently a good person. I knew he had misogynistic traits. I knew that he could be stupid with low self-esteem, as most people are, especially with me. I knew a lot of things, but guess what? I still liked him. He still liked me. He liked me a lot. And I've noticed that men get very scared when they like me, because, you know, they have their Madonna whore complexes, they have their beliefs on what they think a good woman or good wife or someone to bring home to their mother should be, and then they meet me and I check off all the boxes, but also check off every box that I shouldn't check off, and it scares them. In dealing with him, I don't know, I think about it. I like that at some point there was a man who was so head over heels for me that any second there was to see me for a day, he would absolutely seize the opportunity immediately. It didn't matter if I was cursing him out for 7 fucking hours the day before, he would still drop everything to meet me the very next day if a chance came up. He was sweet. He showed up to my open mics to show support. He'd buy me food or a drink. He wanted to take things slow with me and always made sure to make it known to me that we didn't have to have sex. He did very, very much want me, but he also wanted to treat me like a respectable lady, which I really, really appreciated. And, I'll put it this way, I saw him as husband material. I feel bad that things didn't work out, but I can't blame myself. I know what he did in the end that fucked me up. And I fucked him up really hard in the end after that too, because I knew I liked him too much. I didn't want to keep going back and forth with a guy who would resort to necking, or who would resort to, like, fucked up. I just, yeah, he fucked it up too much in the end. I wasn't gonna sit there and tolerate a man acting like he could never see a future with me when deep down it's like, okay, but you've been every second of the day, every single day, trying to meet me, doing all this, this, and that. Like, oh, okay, you say you don't see a future with me, but that's really funny because just the other day you were damn near crying over lunch because you didn't meet me on my birthday. And the reason you didn't meet me on my birthday is because you wanted to retile your entire fucking house and do the flooring to show me that you could be a capable man who has a nice, clean home and can build a future home. And I don't know. He was a very masculine man and perfect in a lot of ways, and I really liked him. But he had low self-esteem and weird ways of treating women, so he didn't work out. Oh, I have an eyelash on my hand, and I guess you can guess what I'm going to wish for. I wish things went different. Do you think I would have? I have so much to say about that man, but I don't know how to verbalize it past. I had a man willing to show me that it's like, hey, look, I can be a big guy who gets a good job in construction and makes a lot of money as an architect. And hey, I don't just live in a shitty trailer. I have like beautiful flooring in the trailer. Look at me. I'm able to make even a shitty space look luxurious. I can treat you right. I can take you out for lunch and dinner. I'm gonna buy you a dress and jewelry. I'm gonna do anything I can to make you smile. We'll be in the movies, so you'll have your feet on my lap in the movies. We will hold hands the entire night. There's not a second that I don't feel a burning desire to have a single bit of my skin pressed against yours. All that, and it broke my fucking heart when he tried to act like I wasn't shit to him in the end. So I hurt him and I contacted his mother and told his mother all the secrets I could about him. And I know why I did it, so I can't ever really feel bad. He should have not fucked with me. But I still feel bad. Not inherently, to be honest. Like, yes and no. I feel bad in the sense of I wish that relationship ended differently. But deep down, if I didn't do that to him, I don't know if it would have ever ended. I think we would have just kept playing cat and mouse with each other, or him trying to see how low he can get my self-esteem, and then pissing me off, and then I have to get abusive to him, and then weird little games. We could have really worked if we wanted to, but he wasn't willing to treat me like a person. And when people don't treat me like a person, when they treat me like an object of desire on a pedestal, never to show any humanity, or when they treat me like a worthless piece of shit, like a thing, like a sex object, I lose my humanity, and then I do things that I don't want to do. And I don't want to hurt people, but I don't really feel bad when I do. You didn't treat me like a person, like a human, like you actually loved and cared about me. So why should I act like you're worthy of love and care too? And then the third one, Luke Thomas Healy, fucking Sebastopol Napa, fucking grifter. Like I said, he was the one that, like, it wasn't just alluded to love me. It wasn't just undying amounts of, like, blah, 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 of bombing affection. And even if there was, which, trust me, I detected it, and I thought to myself it was crazy, but unfortunately, I had very real feelings for that man. And it all confused me so much. I don't know what to say. It was very weird. I still have videos to upload about what happened between me and Luke. But I'll sum it up like this. He was the only person to outwardly say that he loved me last year. Imagine how you would feel having some dude that was like, hey, Timothy, I love you. I'm gonna send you as much money as I can so that you can have lunch and dinner and feed yourself. I know you care about being a comedy producer. I'm gonna give you like several $100s repeatedly so that I can help you get your goals started because you deserve that. I remember when we had our second meetup, we had a chance to get sexual with each other past a certain amount, and he openly turned it down because he said he wanted to take me out on a real nice date because he thought I was a really nice lady and he wanted to treat me with respect. I have a love-hate relationship with men who do that because it's like deep down I know it's self-serving to them. It's like, nigga, you can give me an orgasm and treat me like a person after and like a lady after, but okay, whatever. I don't even, and I never really got that nice date. It felt very traumatic. I'm gonna say it. I thought I was safe. I thought I was gonna, with him, I thought I could, whether it was real or fake, I can have a fleeting romance with someone, and even if it's only real for like a few hours, and then when we wake up the next morning, it's all gone, I can feel safe for a few hours and feel like I actually could have like a fling that doesn't end horribly and traumatically and get my emotions tossed in painfully and horrifically in a way that changes me. I thought I could be loved. And what if it actually did work out? What if it did work out and despite his political differences and his weird past and his trauma and my past and more, what if we both could have been good for each other? But no, it's like some higher power thought it was completely out of a realm of possibility for two people who had so much in common despite all the fucking differences could ever love each other. Couldn't even just have one fucking night. Luke was pissed. I remember we couldn't have one fucking night. I couldn't have one fucking night. I wanted to have a night where I just felt like a pretty lovely lady in a silk dress with gorgeous jewelry, with a man who she's devastatingly attracted to, having a nice passionate night that's slow, soft, and gentle and detached from reality. I don't have to think about the comedy scene or money or any. I just wanted him to feel safe and like wanted and thought of and cared for. And then when we would have woken up the next day around like 5 or 6 a.m., I wanted just that, and we couldn't even have that. For those who know, you already know how that night ended. Me and Luke didn't get what we wanted. But and then after shit got really, really bad to the point of, like, him threatening to kill me and give me slurs and shit and more, and me hurting that man as much as I could in any way, revealing to his family all his fucked up, deepest, darkest secrets, we still didn't drop contact. Funny enough, when I started going through betrayals from my closest buddy in the comedy scene, and I was losing my fucking mind and stressed out, it is so funny how I'm actually sitting next to all the old photos from when I was trying to make that fucking Christmas market happen and was brainstorming printing off photos off of Pinterest and shit. I remember sitting next to this exact thing, probably wearing this exact outfit with my exact hair this way, because some things just never change. And I remember I called him. I was just gonna leave a voicemail. I don't know why, my body just told me to call him. And he picked up, and I was crying my ass off, and I just said, I'm so sorry, I don't know why I'm calling you. I have no idea why. I'm so sorry. And I just started venting about everything going on in my life to him. I apologized for things I did to him, but also I just started just telling him everything, how I was worried about losing my magnum opus of the weekly comedy open mic I was running, how I was scared of how I lost my closest friend in the comedy scene and how he betrayed me, how I was feeling anxious about money and big plans and big events, and how I haven't celebrated the Christmas for years because of how fucked up my life has been, to the point where it's like, yeah, Christmas is a time of caring for each other and showing love and peace and all that, and I don't have anyone at all. What's the point? it's all too much for me, and it's like nothing at all was happening at the same time. And I was so scared of having a winter that just was gonna be nothing. And then he sat there, and we talked for 2 hours. He let me vent, and conversation got, he was still supportive. He didn't need to, and I respect him for being as supportive as he could in that conversation. He did not need to sit there. He had no reason to like me, and I had no reason to like him, and in that moment we were nice for 2 hours straight. Almost 3. And towards the end, he admitted that he told me about more about that evening where shit went fucked up. I can't talk about it without wanting to shoot my brains out to this day. I know it's February, but I still can't. I don't care how much time has passed, I'm still pissed about it. I thought I was so safe that night, and I was gonna have a good night to just feel loved. And not have a traumatic situationship thing happen, but whatever. God damn it. I'll say it like this. He told me that when he said he loved me back then in that car on the way to his place, he meant it. And I told him I meant it too, but I was honest. I told him I wasn't 100% sure if I meant it, but I knew I would have regretted it forever if I didn't say it. And it came to me, and I didn't know how to feel about saying it, but I know that he wanted to hear it, and I wanted to make him happy. But at the same time, I knew damn well I had been wanting to say it for a very long time of knowing him before then. And he said he could tell when I said it that I felt that way, but that he still meant it. I don't know how to feel. Shit. And then we had a bunch of other moments after that. Stuff I haven't really talked about, but let's just say, Luke hearing about me going on a date and getting jealous, but even that was short-lived and fleeting because unfortunately, I'm bad at having a chase or whatever. When I want to, but unfortunately, if my feelings are real for someone, I'm not able to put on a fake chase with him. I wanted him close, and he wanted me far, but he also wanted me sexually. And he, I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore, man. I'm just trying not to give myself a concussion tonight, which I'm prone to do. Oh, see, I prefer alcohol. I haven't been able to. I think I haven't drunken alcohol in a while. I had coffee today. I knew my body was fine even without coffee, but I've got lead in my pipes and I'm dehydrated, and I'm too broke to get the $1 or $2 Crystal Geyser jug from the local neighborhood bodega, so I made a pot of coffee with all my favorite spices and some hot cocoa in it for comfort and for hydration. And I think there's a thing where if you, like, I think, what's it called when you're like low on serotonin or low on dopamine and you have caffeine, it does something that just makes you extremely sleepy, tired, or depressed or anxious and have a breakdown. So I think I was secretly emotionally feeling very strange already. And this just kind of released the floodgates, which is natural, it's healthy. I support crying if it means emotional regulation. I've seen the consequences of what can happen to people who don't cry. I'd rather be the one who cries and processes things than the one who never does. I do feel better talking about this. That dream last night was like, you know how Ebenezer Scrooge has like the ghosts of Christmas past? It kind of felt like that, but mocking. And there's a lot to symbolize in that dream. Like, let's just say, even last night, I was telling people I know how a video I wanted to make was about how you often meet men who talk to women, and they're like, why don't you want to have kids? Why don't you want to get married? You'd be a perfect wife. You'd be a perfect mother. But they don't even make good boyfriends. You don't even make good boyfriends. You would not make a good husband. And how the last few men I fell in love with, even then, they were the types to harp on and on and on about how they want marriage and how they want kids, and specifically with me, but deep down they were not even good boyfriends at all. And that's what it hurt most with Luke and all. It's just like It's like it's a blessing that it's like, okay, I never got pregnant by any one of them, or we never got seriously married or anything. They were just shorter flings, but they still fucking took a deep emotional hit and toll on me, because it's like a touch of having something consistent and normal and loving, and then having it ripped right from my fingers by the throes of a painful, fucked up reality that the other person sadly is not mature or not sane. Like, not being sane, I'm open minded. Immaturity, I really can't stand. I'm just so tired. And it's just, I guess that's what the dream symbolized. Is like, oh, look, I'm always lusted after by somebody, and those people aren't good people. They won't protect me, they won't defend me, they won't comfort me, they'll just mock me if I suffer through anything secretly. They don't have a good opinion of women. They like to watch us as entertainment, but deep down they'll never truly get involved or care when we're stressed out or miserable or anything, unless they want something from us. Most men are not good people, unfortunately. Very low empathy, lots of fucked up socialization, and it's not like we let men cry, so of course they don't know how to handle any big emotions, really. And most men only will help out a woman if they find her pretty or sexually attractive. And even then, that's not a guarantee. Some men will avoid you if they think of you as slutty or whatever. Or if you get hurt sexually, physically, all that, they'll find a way to say you deserved it in some sick and twisted way. And I hate it. I hate it all so much. I hate the Madonna horror complex. I hate low empathy from men. I hate love bombing, future faking. I hate weirdos in one night stands where they can't figure out if they want to treat you like a disposable shitty object not worthy of any care or attention after. But then also I hate the weirdos that have approached me and been like, hey, I know you're just looking for like a one night stand to have a peaceful break from reality, as the last 3 men I fell in love with have. It's always then. It's always when I'm looking for just like a one night stand break from reality, or maybe like, hey, a little short ass fling. Suddenly niggas want to start acting marriage material to me while also simultaneously trying to do things that fuck with my mind and head. Like, even Luke, for weeks when we knew each other, he kept doing the build up of like, ooh, actually, just so you know, you could always find someone else to date. Just so you know, me and you are never gonna be a thing. Like, I'd never marry you. And it's like, nigga, we were talking about like a mutual love of ice cream. Or we were talking about like fun places to travel to, or like your past. Why are you unprovoked telling me how you don't find me marriageable? I don't give a shit if you find me marriageable or not, because this is a one night stand. And he'd be like, yeah, just reaffirming so you know. And it's like, okay, well, I already knew. That was the agreed upon thing, you stupid fucking cunt. And then we'd get into an argument. I remember one of the biggest arguments we had came because I remember he was saying something about how he's never gonna marry me, blah blah blah, and it would come totally unprovoked. And I said, "Oh, don't worry. Yeah, the only reason I'm talking to you right now is because I'm banned from Bumble and Hinge. So, like, don't worry. I would truly be looking for other people if I wasn't here. But as of now, I'm focused on just you." And just for a fun time, don't worry about me. And he got so salty about that, and he took it as an insult. And the argument that came, and I pulled all the hard punches on that nigga verbally, not physically, but verbally. I was not like pulling any punches. I was like, fuck you, nigga. I hope you find bliss that doesn't come in the form of a razor blade or a needle, because he used to do heroin and tried to kill himself by slitting his wrists open. Like I said, I can be very mean to men. And he said I was sick, but then let's just say it took like 10 minutes or less for him to just immediately fall back, like just confess to me that he secretly had been fantasizing about a future with me all this time, like marriage and kids and all that shit. Weird guy, weird guy. And not the first time I've had that, and let me just say it's so exhausting meeting men who are like, I would never date or marry you. I see no future with you whatsoever. Here's a bunch of shit to prove my affections for you otherwise, though. Like, as much as I can. Never leave me. It's like, just shut the fuck up. Leave, like, put a ring on it or get the fuck up. Shut up. Put on a ring or put on a condom. You got two choices. You can't have both. Leave my ass alone. Stop pissing me off. And it's so confusing because it's just like when men do that, it's like a situation where it's like 1,000 knives in every direction you step. Like you're in a field of landmines. You're either gonna, like, what? Do you trust him romantically? Cool. He's gonna blow that shit up in your face and say he never loved you. What if you, and then if you pull back from that, he's gonna be like, what the fuck? Just because I said I don't want to marry you doesn't mean I haven't secretly fantasized about marrying you. I've been doing it this whole time. I'm just repressing my emotions because I have mommy issues and I don't know how to communicate like an adult. And I'm trying to deny reality and deny facts to prove my affections for you. And then you step closer to them, and then next thing you know, they abandon you horrendously. It's like, no thanks, you disorganized, attachment, sick motherfucking sociopathic niggas. I don't want to deal with you. Fuck all of you. Stop pissing me off. I just want to have a nice break from reality where I get to have cool sex with somebody and not totally suffer after from either getting my heartstrings pulled or my brain fucked with or both. And my fucking clit deck like just tingled. Like you're doing too much. It's like a fucked up bop it where like you're just bopping everything. Stop it. Stop it. Leave me alone. Anyway, so all of that, yeah, and like I said, it was like most men are like hunting for like an ideal wife or an ideal potential mother of their kids because deep down they don't plan to be a good father or a good husband. They just want to find someone who can overcompensate on their behalf. So if a girl seems like she'd be an amazing mother, they're just secretly hoping subconsciously for a good mother for them when they suffer through hard times and a good mother for their children because they don't plan to actually be good, stable, consistent fathers. Like, no offense, like, if we gave the baby to Luke Thomas Healy, he would know the first thing to do with it. That nigga doesn't even know how to tell the waitress at IHOP that she brought that his hash browns are undercooked and frozen on the inside. If we gave a wife to Lucas, the guy before him, Lucas probably would have, no offense, he probably would be lustful, low self-esteem, and a giant fucking asshole. If we even thought of giving a girlfriend to Mitchell Anthony Peepler, bet your ass she's gonna get abandoned and traumatized like all the other ones. And probably left high and dry if she gets pregnant. I'm just saying. Beautiful men, lovely personalities at times, and great on paper at times, and still not great for me, not great for you, not great for anybody. It's just very tragic that those were the men I had the strongest feelings for within the past, like, 12 months or so. And I feel really fucked up about it, and it doesn't help that Valentine's Day is around the corner, so it's like, and I'm getting hit up by people, and I keep getting hit up by really, really stupid men who are basically man children. Like just yesterday, some dude who was 33 tried to unprovoked call me a retard, and it was for the dumbest context ever. Like they said something like, "Oh, I went to that sandwich spot you recommended, but they looked at me funny when I asked for the spicy mustard." And then conversation went on for like, 10, 20 minutes. And then I asked, "Oh, did you also like, you tried the spicy mustard, right? How did you like it on your sandwich?" And then he was like, "Oh, well, I was gonna call you retarded, but then I realized that within the context, I said that they looked at me funny for asking for the mustard. I didn't say that they didn't give it to me, so that's on me." And I was like, "Yeah, you'd be retarded to call me a retard in the first place over something like that, especially over your mistake. What a weird thing to say to a lady. Maybe you should, like, you know, go away somewhere and go back lower to where you actually should meet, like where your standards should be. Go back to your league. Stay away from me." And he got so mad about that, and he was like, "If you don't want to be called that, then don't be such a cunt." And it's like, and it's like, nigga, what's your logic there? I wasn't a cunt to you. We were having a pleasant conversation. You unprovoked insulted me, and alluded to almost insulting me on a whim. You're also 33 and you're ugly, and I had to get on that man's ass. I said, "You look like the nigga from Dallas Buyers Club that got AIDS. You look like a member of Duck Dynasty if he had an eating disorder and herpes. Leave me the fuck alone. You're like 33. You are ancient. You need to kill yourself. I'm sorry. Why are you here?" I don't respect most men over the age of 30 in most contexts. I'm sorry. I don't. Fuck that shit. So it's like, God, it's like you can't be talking to me crazy and also be rotten spoiled goods. I'm sorry. I don't support that. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, and I've just been meeting people left and right who are just stupid fucking man children idiots, which is why I mentioned that part in my dream where it's like the baby that had the face of my exes and stuff, who was like an overgrown baby. I guess it was symbolic for, like, Lucas was a child. Luke was a child. Luke was so immature, you had to baby him through everything, and the second you actually tried to treat him like an adult, he wouldn't know what the fuck to do. He would collapse under his own pressure. You could apply 1% pressure and he'd start exploding and catastrophizing and losing his own fucking mind. For Lucas, same shit. Like, or like, he just would be a whiny little brat over everything. It's like he was good for a fun time, not a long time. He was just a weak ass bitch. Also, not to mention his obsession with his mother's titties. It was there for a reason. Let's just say he actually was a child in that way. Because it's like, why are you as a grown man obsessing over your mom's tits? Like I said, insanity isn't totally written off in my book. It depends on the degree of it, though. But you can't disrespect me and also suck your mom's titties. I'm just saying. Fuck you. And you're 30? 31? Ew. Suck my cock. Yeah, I see why I crashed out so hard on that man. It's like, you're fat as fuck, 31, trying to talk shit to me. Oh my god. Fuck you. Suck my dick. And then as for, uh, Mitchell. Oh, yeah, Mitchell. Would I say Mitchell has mommy issues? Yes and no. I'll put it this way. He saw his mom suffer, but that doesn't, but he's still a slutty ass, hoe ass nigga, so fuck that nigga. I don't have much to say about him. But yeah, he was indeed pathetic, and he didn't know how to handle his own emotions. And like I said, he was also the type of dude that was like, Timidity, what you would make amazing kids. You have to have kids. You would be an amazing mother. Oh, imagine a future with us. Imagine if we traveled. Imagine this. Oh, look at all this imagination. Like you always want to imagine shit, like you're a fucking 4-year-old child. And I learned from dating psychology books. Multiple books have said this. Most men, you to have success with dating them, you have to treat them like they're 4-year-olds because their egos and socialization cannot handle much else. So if they're doing bad, you have to treat them like a mama. You have to be like, hey baby, shh, it's okay. Calm down, it's all good. Yeah, oh, you hurt yourself? It's okay. You're my big boy, you know. You have to be like, oh, can you pick that up for me? Will you be good for me? Thank you. Oh, you're such a big, strong man. And you have to do shit like that. And that is annoying. It's like, I'm good at that. I'm great at it, even. Fuck yeah. So many of the niggas I've dated have mommy issues and love to be commanded by me. It's awesome, but it's also annoying as fuck. Like, holy shit. And I'm just saying, it's like I had to deal with so much shit from Mitchell. Because it's like Mitchell was that. I don't remember one of the most annoying things is that Mitchell, all week that I knew him, he was the clingiest bitch to me in all ways you can imagine. But then I remember when he finally did open up and he was crying in front of the fireplace with me, full on sobbing, like, I'm so scared of losing you. I'm so scared of, like, we aren't gonna see each other again. Or what if this means nothing? What if I'm just like one of those other guys to you? I wanna mean something to you. I don't wanna leave your life. I don't want this to be the end. And I remembered the way I specifically cried and was vulnerable too. And I was like, you're right. We could find a way to make this work. Maybe we could, like, get married or have kids, even if things even work out, or we could just date and we could just stay in each other's lives. This could be great. And I remember going to that hotel bathroom and crying and feeling so happy, like, I think I'm finally loved in a way that I want to be with a person who's compatible for me. And I left that bathroom, the first words out of this man's mouth in full serious was not, he was just like, actually, I don't know if I want to marry you. And I don't think we have I don't think we're gonna like have a future with each other like that. I think we're too different. And the way I was so whiplash that I had to just go back and cry in that bathroom for like 10 minutes when I came out. And then he went back to the sad boy, oh shit, she's gonna leave me act. And the way I just had to be like, how about this? Let's stop worrying about the future. Let's just focus on the moment. Think about it. All I know is it's Christmas time, and no matter what our agreement is, we can figure that out later. But for now, I don't want to spend my break crying. I want to have a good time. And then guess what? That nigga, I guess because I pulled back, he started being like, I have to chase her again. Oh, I have to make sure I show her that she means something and that I'm never going to leave her. And that I still have the video on my laptop because this nigga insisted on recording a 7-minute long video of him hugging me and holding me. I tried to pull away like 10 to 30 seconds in, and repeatedly in the video I tried to pull away, but he was holding me close, whispering in my ear everything I've ever wanted to hear in my lifetime about how I was loved, how I'm gonna do big things, how I deserved better than I ever got in my life. All this fucked up ass shit that was like so devastatingly beautiful and kind and shit. But yeah, that nigga didn't even get past the gates of Bart before he just immediately flicked off again and was just like, yeah, bye. It's like, what Oscar are you trying to audition for, my guy? Leave me the fuck alone, you psycho cunt. Anyway, I went nuclear on that man and I told his family a bunch of terrible stuff about him. And I don't regret doing a single bit of that. His family needed to know, because as I mentioned, on that trip he sexually abused me. And it was pretty damn traumatic. And also, I told his family all the shit he thinks about them. And I thought to myself, this feels good to do, because you know what? One, he raped me. His family deserves to know they raised a terrible, disgusting son. And two, fuck it. His family needs to know that they were such abusive fucking shitty losers that they made someone like him around, and how he fantasizes about killing them and all that. I didn't give a shit. I was also suicidal as fuck. And it's like, I don't care if Mitchell has 17 guns and a bunch of rifles and shit. I don't give a fuck. Get me then! And so I told his family a bunch of shit, and I did a lot of things about that man. Because fuck that guy. I hate him. God bless and amen. But, you know, even at the extent of my hate, I know that in the corner of my bedroom right now, hidden under a bunch of art supplies and mysterious containers in my bedroom, are a bunch of photos of him that I don't know if I'll ever throw out. I think I'll just keep him in a photo album somewhere, so that when I'm nice and old, I can just show my grandkids and be like, yep, that's a man who was very nice to me at some point when I needed it. And he did a lot of other shit I didn't need, but hey, he's nice enough that I have a photo of him. And same for Luke. You know, I don't have photos of I don't care enough about Lucas to print out photos of him. He severed the ties. I don't care about that man that much. He's a loser. But as for Luke, I think I've still thought about him every single day. And it pains me. And sometimes I get close to not thinking about him. I can only name maybe less than 2 handfuls of days, 7 days total, where he has not been on my mind ever since we have stopped talking, and that is very unfortunate. But I'll put it this way, to an extent I still care about him. I think of him you know how you always do a what if, what if things worked out? What if we didn't have that one beautiful romantic night cut short? What if we could have just been two people that cuddled and stayed together? What would have happened between us both? Would it have been so bad that we needed to be in this timeline where things are just terrible for me and terrible for him, and we both have to just suffer separately? What would have been so bad if we actually dated and were a thing? And I wonder about that. But who knows? Also, like I said, when Luke threatened to fucking kill me, I had nothing to lose, so I tormented the fuck out that nigga. For him, I'll say it as bluntly as I can. I still, to an extent, loved him. Loved. Not actively loved, but loved. As in, you know, when he wasn't, I'll put it this way. He has a lot of flaws that I think came from religious trauma and family abuse, and plenty of signs point to he's a very lonely guy in a very fucked up circumstance. I can't hate that in a person. And I still think he has room to change. And some things I think he even knows aren't truly him. But, you know, a lot of indoctrination can't be undone by a single woman. And even if I want to, do I really want to play mommy to a man to convince a shitty white dude to stop being racist and to start standing on his own 2 feet and trying? I could, and a part of me wishes that I had an Erykah Badu style fling with him where I get this weird, evil, racist white man to stop believing in Zionism or whatever and start wearing ankhs and turbans and shit and saying things like grand risings. I wish I could do that, you know, like what Erykah Badu did to Common and Andre 3000 and all that, but you know, things happen. Life happened. And unfortunately, I can't always be the Simon who has no emotions and emotionally manipulates men into doing her bidding so that even the most evil, psychotic podcast listening bros bow down to me. Or I totally can, but let's just say, unfortunately, I still have a soul. And even though my New Year's resolution this year was to be more of a cutthroat bitch, I'll put it this way, I'm doing well at that, but without dating men. Being a cutthroat bitch as you date men, totally possible, but still emotionally exhausting. Because it's whether you're doing the, oh, sweetie baby, I love you, the carrot method, or you're doing the, shut the fuck up, stop being a bitch, stick method, it can both take a toll on me. And let's just say I'd rather just be recently dating has been so shitty with stupid ass men reaching out to me. I had this one dude who was rich as fuck and offered to take me to the most expensive restaurant in the city on a first date. But he came at me incorrectly and was trying to be horny off the bat and shit. And I had the weird 33-year-old, the Dallas Buyers Club looking ass motherfucker, nasty one. That country hick motherfucker, his nasty ass. He literally was trying to be like, I will buy you a gourmet sandwich from that one place you love if you meet with me. And I was telling him, actually, I would like to talk more first. And he wasn't doing good at talking. And then he failed at talking in multiple different ways because I found him boring. And then the next day or so when he went to get the sandwiches by himself, this nigga bought 2 sandwiches to eat by himself, and it's like, okay, whatever. He was still rude. He was even more rude and even more boring and even more stupid, and it proved I dodged the right person. And I'm grateful that I have groceries in my fridge, and like I have like basically if I got food at home, I'm gonna stay at home. I don't care how rich you are or how generous you are. I'm staying the fuck home. I'm making bacon and eggs and pancakes and peanut butter sandwiches, and I'm watching lesbian porn and focusing on my goals all goddamn day. I'm not letting another one of you motherfuckers come into my life and stress me the fuck out with your weird, stupid fucking games. I'm not having that shit. I'm not gonna kill myself over a man. I'm gonna focus on making jewelry and playing with my clit and having a fun time being as unhinged as I want on the fucking internet. Fuck all you motherfuckers. So yeah, that's and like yeah, if I'm gonna be man hating, I'm not gonna be in the presence of a man as I hate. That's just that's a masochistic misandry. And I don't need that. Like I don't need to be a masochist. I can just be entirely hedonistic all without the presence of a man. I want to be a hedonistic man hater. It's like if you're coming into my life, 100% aim to make it better. And even though the last few dudes I did meet and fell in love with, they did make my life better. They in a million different ways made it worse. So it's like, yeah, I got that money from Luke, and I still have trauma even as it's almost Valentine's Day. So wonderful. I hate that asshole loser. Ugh. And then I could list out a bunch of like I still have the dress that Lucas gave me. I don't know where I put those fucking earrings he got me. But guess what? Like memories of getting chicken biryani with him or having fun conversations over dinner, those are sweet for a passing little slow day, but deep down, like I won't like he's the only one who I'd say I don't regret meeting. I just hate that it ended as badly as it did, but honestly I blame him for that more than me. I didn't have the patience to deal with someone like him further, and he just was proving to me that he was always going to make me go in circles on if he cared for me or not. And it was always going to be some sort of weird negging around the corner, some sort of weird manipulation, and then his desperate plea to get back on mommy's good side once I start giving him the stick instead of the carrot, or if I give him the stick and then the carrot. Like, also that did happen with Luke. I forgot to mention Luke, the weird final guy, the most recent one, that loser. With him, I remember how we had the worst day. Like we were going at each other's throats over text, and then it like a phone call we had. It took like what 2 minutes, 10 minutes of talking, or a 10-minute phone call where like it didn't like actually 2 minutes into that phone call. It just took 2 minutes of me being nice after hours of being like fucking mean to him for him to just start fawning over me and being like, "Oh, what are you wearing? What would it take to see you again? What would that look like?" And I offered a platonic dynamic and he offered a sexual one. And then I guess his Catholicism and his common sense and God knows what else is wrong with him kicked in. And he decided to never want to see me again and uh, he started doing weird, manipulative, immature shit that just ended up permanently severing out. I'll put it this way. If you have a chick in your life who's like, yeah, I would love to meet you, like maybe like once a month for like a drive-in movie or just like, I don't know, get some buy one, get one food and just talk and vibe. I want to have a connection with you. And then you offer a sexual dynamic with me, but still hype it up as if it's like, you want to prolong to be in my life for like sexual, bordering, romantic reasons. And then you immediately try to block me when a whole thing we agreed on was that we'd be in each other's lives peacefully without any pain and that we would not block each other specifically. Like we had a whole arrangement. I'm just saying, if you say you're not gonna ever fucking block me and that we could be friends who only talk like one phone call like a week, once a week, and outside of that we don't have to talk. And your stupid ass blocks me. And then I crashed out on him and his family. And then he was like, "Why the fuck did you do that?" I said, "Because you fucking blocked me. That was the whole agreed on deal. I wouldn't do that if you didn't do that." And then he was like, "Well, I knew you were going to crash out on me anyway, so that's why I did that." I said, "No, idiot. We ended the phone call good. You just did that because you were realizing that you were getting sucked back into me sexually and romantically on your own terms. I wasn't forcing you to do anything. You started lusting for me, and you have your weird little fucked up brain So you got scared. And then you wanna be all, oh no, she's a siren, she's getting me again. Nigga, you just can't admit that it's whatever weird feelings you have for me, sexual, romantic, or whatever the fuck, are still present and haven't fully gone away. And you hate that you have feelings for someone you deem a heathenous being who will bring terror into your life. Deep down, you're the one bringing terror into your life. A lot of bad things happen just because you suck as a dude. Anyway, let me talk about him too much. But yeah, I forgot that actually was our last final interaction, and I wish it went differently. But that's a him problem, not a me problem. Or it's still a me problem because I'm still thinking about it. But just that also really hurt because, like I said, we allegedly fell for each other, and he could feel himself. Like any fights we had or arguments we had towards the end were truly just his repeated on and off way of treating me. Or if not that, then him just battling between how can I make her fit into my life? Can she? Can, even after all the chaos and all the mess that we've done to each other, like, you know, and he kept telling himself he wants to be a good Catholic boy who has morals and doesn't have sex between marriage and all that, but he also feels himself desiring it all the time. So I know it was another aspect was like, you know, resentment towards me, passion and lingering sexual attitude towards me, and him never being able to take accountability for his actions and just going, oh, I want to be a good Catholic boy who goes to church 5 days a week and never has feelings of lust. So I should just forcefully ignore her, even though I know I want her, and I keep any turn and point I get coming back to her to vent, coming back to her to talk. She's the only woman I like in my life, despite how she's also allegedly the one I should hate the most. And I still want her really bad sexually. I'm just gonna say it as quickly as I said it. It already hurt when I got abandoned by him after we told each other we loved each other the first time. It didn't feel good to get really, 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 really close to having that again. Even if a lesser version, but still having that release. Or whether it's gonna be the safety of knowing I could get closer to having a second chance at fixing things with him, or if things were gonna just fucking be sexual. Just I don't know. I don't know how to say it other than imagine the heartbreak and devastation of the first incident and all the threats and the murder threats and all the terrible stuff. And then you get so close to a mutual redemption arc where you both reveal to each other that you still kind of care for each other, that you're still soft, gentle, all that. And then you still see it fall apart so fucking quickly, like it's just out of the realm of possibility for either of you two to ever be in each other's lives. But deep down, that reflected on his immaturity. I know I may not be the safest person of all time, but I'll say it like this. I proved I was safe, and I proved I was good. And any fights we had were truly just, I don't fully remember them at this point, but I'm just saying, when we were really good, we were really good. And I refuse to blame myself or say that I was some emotionally toxic being that he could never feel safe around. Because deep down, I remember all those interactions and how he truly treated me at times. Some parts were amusing, some parts were toxic and evil, and probably for the best that we didn't stay in each other's lives. Mutually on both ends. Also, especially him. He was super fucked up. Jesus Christ. He was the type of dude where you could tell him, you threatened to rape and murder me, and he'd be like, I did not say rape. And it's like, that's funny, but sir, shut the fuck up. I was so close to having a future where I could have held him again. And even if we didn't say we loved each other that time, it would have been really nice to have had that. Or even then, just to be in his life, to question his reality, to give him the break that I thought he deserved, all that. But deep down, he didn't want to give me a break, and he just gave me more stress even all the way to the end. And that's just so sad to me. It's sad that I thought he was worth a redemption arc and love and growth and all sorts of joy. And the reverse was not felt. At least not enough for him to break through his own mental barriers and see me. At some point, that man was willing to skip church and betray his family just to meet me. And then it's like, oh, now he's scared of seeing me, but he's gonna use the excuse of religion. When really he's just always been afraid of growth or maturity or talking and communicating like a grown person. He's a man-child. And sadly, I still love him. And it's so gross and annoying that I do, but like I said, I guess I am matronly. Because I just want to nurture him and just, I wish I could nurture all these men and just be like, hey, you're lovable, stop running. Stop running around. Just sit still. You're loved, you're safe, and you're cared about. Your words are valued. Talk normally. Share your emotions. I can assure you I care, and I can assure you that you matter to me. Do I matter to you? I would like you to show me. Can you please show me? And that's what I would like. I want someone that will nurture me back, but also, if I could, especially with Luke, I would just want him to be safe and loved safely, because no offense, the way his family did, he turned out a very troubled kid, and I've seen things about him that still make me very sad. He's choosing it though, and I hope one day he stops being a scared boy, waiting for his mommy's affection, and maybe not even my affection, and he figures out what the fuck he wants. Anyway, and I wish I could just care for him and love him. I wish he would have let me, but he wants to run away, so I'll let him. And it hurts so bad, but it's okay. I'll still love him. The sweet boy that I used to know before he got too bad. Hi, goodbye. God bless. Amen. Peace out. Bye.